Hello everyone and welcome back. So it's been a few weeks since I recorded my last episode, holidays and stuff, but I hope that now we can go back on schedule. So last time we were checking that the slider for the range was not broken by our changes, and we said that we're gonna continue with the tests and stuff like that. But in the meantime, I got to thinking, and the Flutter team, I think, will have a hard time approving a change that is not very significant and that has breaking changes. So by breaking changes, I mean that what we have done, if we commit this code and everyone pulls it to their like when Flutter is updated, and they use the slider theme property that we removed, their code is going to be broken. So they will have errors and they will have to fix it. So this is usually something that everyone tries to avoid. So I think in this episode, what we're going to try to do is just make sure that we introduce our changes in a way that doesn't break everyone else's code. So basically it means we'll have to revert some of the things we've done, like the theme property will have to stay, but we will mark it as deprecated, and we will try to make so that the values are shown whenever the value property is on, so that by default the theme property will be null, and only people who have used it up until now and who relied on it will still be able to see the effect. So if they used the never property, we'll have to honor that and not show the slider even if the value is on, I think. But we'll see what is easier. So okay, let's go into our code and we'll do a quick refreshment. So again, what we want to do after we've been off for a long time, we'll have to pull everything back, all the changes that have been done to the main Flutter repository, and we will do this now, I think. So we can see, if we go to version control, we have some code right here, right? So we have the change that we did to the range slider, and slider theme. That's where we actually fixed what we think was broken. We have the changes that we did with the range slider as well. It's just something that was off in the slider demo file, which is not very important, but it's here. And we have some work in progress, the whip. This is our changes that we have done to the test files because of the changes that we introduced. Okay, so let's start by pulling from the main Flutter repository. Update project, stash, and oh wait, first we will switch to the master. And let's pull. Okay, so we, as I hope you remember, pulling from the upstream, which is directly from the Flutter repository and not from the clone that we made in our GitHub, which is important because our GitHub is not updated with the changes that the Flutter team does to their own repository. It's like a screenshot. I believe that there's going to be tons of changes. 2,823 files changed. We can see all those commits like really tons of commits, right? And our commits are somewhere over here, so we have all those commits. And what we want to do now is obviously make our branch go on top of all these changes and see that, well, I hope not a lot has been changed. So rebase current onto selected, right? So no, that's not what we want to do. Check out and rebase onto current. So current is master, then we rebase slider fix onto master. Let's try this out. And unfortunately, as I expected, we have some we already have some conflicts, right? So this is the conflicts. We can see what the conflicts are, but I believe that we will just ignore them and take, oh, that's actually the update of this, which is, doesn't matter. Where's my, come on, 7, yep. From sample to snippet. So these are the changes on the master. This is what we had before. This is the final change. We can also do, where's the, right, let's take the magic wand. Well, we can just go over the changes, but the magic wand allows us to accept all the changes that are insignificant, basically whenever there is no conflict. And conflicts are usually the red ones only. Most of the time, that's enough. So we see some... yeah, that's an interesting change. They inherit from widget of exact type, change to depend on inherit. I think that's something new that they introduced. Where are we again? In the slider theme. Okay, yeah, never liked this one. This is what we introduced, which we probably have to put back here, right? So yeah, and the conflicts makes sense. Okay. I think we're just gonna take everything from, I think so, right? So I think we're gonna just ignore all the changes that we did to this file. Basically keeping, what did we do here? Oh yeah. Okay, so I think we're just accepting the right. Yeah, and I think this was enough, and we'll get the dependencies. I think our project is not gonna work just out of the box right now, but we'll have to see. I think just the changes that we pulled, the fact that we left the property value is gonna bite us in the ass right now. So right now our only changes are to the slider and the range slider files, which kind of makes sense. Because we just completely remove the show value indicator. Now we'll have to think, how do we still... So our only problem right now, the way we made it, is whenever you have a value, you're always gonna show it, right, in the indicator value, I mean, which was not the case before. But this is good whenever, like, it doesn't matter if someone used the theme for discrete or whatever, as long as they had the value over on their slider, it's gonna work with our solution as well. The only problem that I can think of right now is what happens when they use the never, right? So they might have used the value, like they had the value on the slider and still added the never property to the theme, expecting it doesn't show. So basically we might want to honor that. Although now that I think about it, it doesn't break the code, but it's still an unwanted behavior. I think that's something that is okay to break in a sense. I mean, we won't break code by removing the theme part, but we will. I didn't just do that. We won't break the code, but we will break some expected behavior, right? I mean, it was wrongly expected because it's a weird thing to have a value indicator that is not shown, right? So okay, we have some issues, right? The current Flutter SDK version is 1.12 pre whatever, because Flutter Gallery depends on video player web. SDK 1.12.8 version solving failed. Flutter SDK, which is weird because we just updated to the newest. I think something. Are we in the? Sure. Let's see. It's 1.12.5, right? Flutter Gallery depends on video player web, which but I think the stable one isn't 1.12.8 even. Sorry. It's when the stable channel is 1.9, so how is that even possible? Yeah, I think Flutter Gallery might have been broken because it uses like an alpha channel or a beta channel. Don't think it matters too much to us, right? I hope. We were in the Flutter Gallery, that's why it doesn't work. Yeah, okay. I think that's fine. What we want to do is first, well, let's see what errors we got. Yeah, we have some delocalization, which is, I don't even know. Is it in the tools? Why? No. Way too many errors. Flutter driver is off. That's strange. I think that's because of that. I don't want to do upgrade dependencies. I think that actually might change stuff. We don't have any code that's weird. Let's go to master. I want to see if the branch itself compiles without our changes, you know? I mean, let's pretend we just pulled the master project. Yeah. Flutter gallery. So this is a new thing, I guess. Conventional is 1.12.5. Sure. 1.12.8. Come on. You're being weird. Okay. Sure. Let's go on the Flutter, the GitHub, right? So Flutter. It's weird. How do we know which branch is the 1.12.8 and why it doesn't work? Maybe it's the beta or the dev. But they never have a master not working, I think. Do they? Maybe they do. So I don't care that the Flutter gallery doesn't like has errors. It bothers me that everything else seems not to work, like, you know, so many other stuff are now red, which is not what you want usually. And I think that might be because it goes for trying to get every project. Yeah. What can we do? I don't know, let's see, maybe we can live with that, even though I don't like having so many errors, because you don't know then where yours are, if they're gonna appear. I just hate that. And I don't want to switch to dev, because that's just not gonna do anything good. I don't know if I can just ignore that. Okay, maybe we can just do it like that. Just ignore gallery for now. It seems to fix the problem. So yeah, I think there is a script just that does the get for all the projects. I think that's what we should have done, right? So the place where to look for it is in get started, right? Oh no, it's in the contributing to Flutter docs. So it's over here. And then install Flutter. Oh no, contributing to Flutter, sorry. Setting up engine, setting up framework. Right. Yep, this one. Run Flutter update packages that will fetch all the other packages. Flutter depends on packet in each directory. Yeah, that's not what we want to do. I think that won't work out of the box because, like always, I don't have it in my path, right? Let's try and see. Flutter. I think it's which Flutter says which one it is. Yeah, that's not the one. We want this Flutter to be the first. I remember changing it, I think, right? That it worked. Yeah, I think I did it in one episode or the other. Yeah, I will not do it now due to time constraints, mainly because it seems that it has been enough. But yeah, you should add Flutter to your path for the repository that you're working on. I think we have it in one of the previous episodes that I had to do it eventually, and I found the way to do that. So, okay, we are now in the master, right? And we'll switch to our second project. It's the slider fix that we've been doing. I don't know, should I upload this demo project to GitHub? Like for everyone else to be accessible to it? I think this one is not as important. Maybe I should do that for this one, the one that we actually make the changes, so that you can go through commits maybe yourself. When it is available at my yeah, I'll add it in the description. It's available on my GitHub fork, because I always push it, I think, back. So yeah. So where were we? We wanted to see that it's still broken and that it even works. Let's do sludge this one. So this should be working with our newly updated Flutter repository, and we do have to check this all the time. Yeah, this one. Because sometimes when I just work on something else, I go back to the non-development release Flutter branch, and it changes this for everything. Yeah, that should be just for current project. So this one doesn't work, this one does, because of the discrete. Yeah, so it still doesn't work without our fix, which is okay. Let's switch to our branch and start fixing the theme. Check it out. It's fine. And go back to here and run it again. So we just want to make sure that... Oh, that's weird. It's like a typical crash that you get used to get on Android when something unclear was breaking. Just in case, reinstall it completely. Takes longer than usual. I do think we solved. Yeah, weird. We had a crash, which means slider theme. Yep, slider theme showing here is not true. Well, this is okay, right? Because it is null, and it is null because we're no longer passing it to right slider theme, right, which we did not change. So show value indicator can be null because that's something that we wanted it to be. I think we go over here to fix that. Let's go see slider theme one. Yeah, like I'm gonna just find it, right? Wait, what? Pop spec has been edited? Really? Okay. It's 2322. 2322. Yeah. So, did we ever change anything here? Yeah, we don't care about the test. Demo no, dart here. So why did that crash again? The thing show value indicator, we do set it. By default, show value indicator is set to show value indicator only for discrete. And it is set, where is it set usually? I'm guessing not here. It's not that one. This is the default one. Oh, unless we are setting it to null by making our own slider theme. Is it possible that that's what we are doing? Let's see. So we have the theme not set, so it uses the default theme. Over here. Yeah, everything should be the default one. So it should be fine. Though it doesn't, it's not. So when it was doing the range slider, the assert slider theme, right? I mean, okay, I guess it's something that we did, just that I'm not seeing yet. Let's see what have we actually done, right? So in the range slider, default value indicator only for discrete. Oh, okay, so we actually removed the default value indicator that was used afterwards in the slider theme, in the copy with. Oh, that's That's why I don't see it. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so this is actually what we have been talking about. So for this to work, we have to allow show value indicator to be null by default, right? And we want it to be null by default, so we don't want to see the which project am I in? We don't want to see any assignment to it of the only for discrete, right? So this is the slider theme, stuff that are getting put in there. This one we don't want to see anymore. And in general, this one should be deprecated. So we'll mark it. Do you mark it deprecated? I think you make it no. I think it's like an annotation, deprecated. I guess it's not. Let's check. Flutter, deprecated. Although it's not Flutter, it's Dart. Oh yeah, feature as deprecated. Do you use it? Just deprecated. And deprecated. No. Not here. I think it should be. I thought it should be above. Deprecated. Not like this. No? I am mistaken. Deprecation must have arguments. Oh, I was not looking. Sorry. Please use void using show has no effect on the value indicator. Instead, yeah, I was just thinking what I should write as the instead. So instead, the label property of the instead, and if the label property is set, then the value indicator will be displayed. I think this is more intuitive, right? So whenever somebody is going to try to use this, he'll see avoid using show value indicator, as it has no effect on the value indicator. It has on the value indicator. Then if the property is set, then the value indicator will be displayed. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it makes sense, right? So we added the deprecated, we removed the setting of it, and we need to see anyway like this. Yeah, so this is how it shows when it's deprecated, which is actually nice. It's deprecated, it shouldn't be used. Avoid using show value indicator as it no longer has an effect on the value indicator. Instead, if the label property is set, then the value indicator will be displayed. And this assertion is incorrect because you can use it. No, it's fine. Right. I think it should work now. Maybe not. I don't know. Yep, it does, and it does. I think this might be enough, because in this way we don't break the code for anyone, because they can still have the incorrect but possible usage of the theme property, because we kept it. We're just mentioning not to use it, and then we'll have to create a future step to remove that some time, I guess. So one stable version, and then on the second maybe. I don't know how they do that in Flutter, in the Flutter team. We can also probably see that. So what we have done is change the slider demo, right? Because of that. So we had the show value indicator over here. Wait, we added the show value indicator over here, which is to the paint. This is in the demo, right? Yeah, it is. So that's some utility function, I guess. And so they had the never, because they had the labels. Yeah, I think it's okay that we remove that, because this will definitely have the wrong effect. This is just incorrect programming in a sense. I mean, you don't have to, like, if you want to not show it, just don't put the labels, because having the labels here is insignificant. Yeah, I don't know, didn't like it. So yeah, we'll keep this change, because I think it just makes the code better. So yeah, what we want to do now is we have those changes, but they should go with this doesn't explain that it is with the slider demo. think this should be okay. Yeah. So we need to add our code here somehow. I mean, we can just add on top and switch places. How can I do that? I think I can do that like this. Yeah, so what I was thinking is, how can I add this change back to the first commit, because it kind of goes together. So I think we'll just rebase. We'll move around some, like this commit, and then we squish them together. So I'll just show it in a second. So we'll say that this is like it's temporary, so it doesn't matter. Like, what did we do? Yeah, we deprecated the show value indicator of the slider theme, right? Of the slider theme there. And this is the tricky part. We I think we can rebase it on master. Let's validate. Roots. What? Huh? That's no. If I can commit db. I think we want it to be not even. Oh, isn't our master? So it seems that we have some like changes in different files from the master if we do the rebase. I just want to make sure that it is the correct branches. So upstream and master is the ones. Yeah, that's the ones that I see. Usually it should have worked. We can do not the remote's origin, but the upstream master, like this. That's weird. Yeah, that's what. Doesn't matter, right? Rebase onto itself. I don't think it's gonna work. Let's see. We'll just do an empty rebase, which is fine. And then we'll do it again. This time we move that one to be here. No, wait, sorry. That's the first one. We move that one to be the second one. And we squash it. So that squash means it just adds to the fixed slider, like to the previous commit, and keeps the comment. And this might break. Well, I think this breaks everything, because in this commit we already have those changes. Didn't? Oh, because it's unaffected files. Yeah, if those were changes to the files from here, then it wouldn't work. Yeah, I think this was. Yep, this worked. Okay, let's push it. So now that we push it back, we need to like force push, because we did rebase, so we rewrote history, so it's always what you have to do. Yeah, it gonna override everything, which is fine. And this part is done. So I think I can add on this node, right? Let me see. I think it will have been quite long enough. Where's the time? Yeah, it's again 45 minutes. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the episodes shorter so that people can not spend the whole day on it, and also I'm trying to be more efficient, to be honest. So yeah, we made it basically, well, I wouldn't say backwards compatible. It kind of gives a vibe of backwards compatibility, because whenever they use always or discrete or the other option that was available on the yeah, wait, I think we did not remove those options, did we? I mean, it's still possible. Yeah, we have to keep them. So those options are still kind of available, but because the property is deprecated, I think it's going to be quite obvious not to use them. So it gives the feeling of backwards compatibility, in the sense that if you use the label with the show value indicator that actually shows anything, it's gonna work because we ignore the theme property now. The only way it's broken now, and it's only broken logically, is if you use the show never and you put the labels that you don't want to show, which is a ridiculous thing to do, but I guess some project will have that for one reason or another. You know, sometimes maybe you forgot something, or you wanted like it based on some coding decision whether you show or don't the values, and it was more easy to change the show value indicator property instead of just changing whether the labels have value or just null, right? So I guess it's gonna break for some people, but I think that's still a good solution, because it's still a weird experience to have. So yeah, I'm gonna end on this node, and this time, and next time, I mean, I think we are eventually going to finish the work in progress that we started with the tests, right? Which was basically almost completed. We just need to see that we didn't forget anything, and then we'll create an issue and just file a pull request to the Flutter team repository, and we'll see how it goes. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can leave any comments that you want. Maybe you wanted to tell me how you think this cast can be better. I mean, I know that not many people watch it, but even if it's just for me, I think that's something that can be useful. I do know that I have to go back to the episode where I changed the path just to see how I did that, so that I don't research it again. Yep, so thank you, and goodbye.